Hey everybody, it's Angie, also known as A Light. Welcome to my channel. Please like this video, subscribe if you like to, share if you like to, and if you have to make a donation to me, my PayPal information and my Cash App information will always be in my description bar below or my comment section. When you donate to me, I will email you and ask you, do you have a topic or a question that you want me to break down in a video, and you get your own video response from me. Okay, so thank you to those who have already been donating, and continue to do so we can keep this channel flowing. Okay, so I don't know, I was thinking about this for a while, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna do a video on how narcissists are like, they're never satisfied, how they have how they get bored very easily. And I'm sure a lot of you notice this, and it has a lot to do with, I always go through the spiritual aspect of the narcissist. So my channel's a little bit different. I don't just look at narcissism as a mental disorder, personality disorder. I look at it as a spiritual, possession, basically. So because I look at it as a spiritual possession, a demonic possession, the narcissists come with so many different spirits on them, and these spirits need to be fed, and that's why they conjure up negative energy, and they take energy from you. You are their supply. You're not just supplying them with the physical, like food and money and, material things. You're also, majority, they're taking your actual life source, your energy. This is why you feel tired around them all the time. This is why you become depressed when you're around them, because they're literally taking your energy, okay, your vibrational energy. So I noticed this about narcissists, and all the narcissists who were in my life before. I noticed that they hardly sleep. Now, maybe y'all have a lot of narcissists who slept like a baby, maybe after they argued with you, or, they had sex with you, they were able to knock out. But all the narcissists that were in my life, they did not sleep well. Me, I'm a person who naturally, I don't sleep well. I'm more of a night owl, so to say. And a lot of intercessors, they say, a lot of people who are spiritual, who are like light workers, they don't sleep much. They usually sleep in shifts, and that's how I sleep. People are normally like, oh, Angie, do you ever sleep? Because it seems like if someone texts me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. If you text me at 9 o'clock at night, I'm up. Text me in the afternoon, I'll answer, So I kind of sleep in shifts. I never sleep through the night, and I always feel more awake, around 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. But the narcissist, I could text a narcissist right now, and they will answer. It's midnight, and usually people go to bed early, because they have to work the next day or something like that. And the narcissists that I hung out with, they did not sleep very well. And if they did sleep, they always seemed like they were tired all the time. Or they appeared that, they just needed very little sleep. So 3 hours and they can keep going and going and going. Okay, I was hanging out with this one narcissistic female, and I'm going to say we partied about twice a week. And I'm not going to lie, this started to break down my body. I was getting dark circles. Suffering from migraines. This girl would keep going and look flawless. I'm not even lying to you. We would go out drinking. I'm going to say drinking, partying twice a week. And this girl can keep drinking. I never seen this girl like drunk. Alright? She can outdrink grown men that we were around. And I remember, even after we were out hanging out, dancing and drinking for the night, before she dropped me off home, she would stop by a liquor store and buy a bottle of vodka. And I think she would drink this vodka off within maybe 2 to 3 days at a time, okay? And still be able to get up for 6 o'clock in the morning and go to work, okay? So these narcs can do this, okay? I know a lot of narcs who took heavy drugs and didn't die from it, but then the next person next to them took heavy drugs and they died from an overdose. And the reason why they're able to do this, they have all this endurance for these negative things, is because these spirits are being fed by this negativity. You know, my narcissistic ex-best friend, he partied a lot, and it seemed like he never was satisfied. He could never just have a mellow, low-key type of night. No, he needed to be surrounded by thousands of people. Like, if he had a choice to go to a lounge or go to, like, a club that had, you know, he was gay, so he would like to go to a club that had, like, you know, men dancing in the cages, you know, them swinging on the ceiling, and, you know, there being drama or something. He needed that to feed those demons, okay? Those demons need that excitement, need those, need that negative energy. It needs to be fed, okay? And this doesn't, and this is why the narc seems like nothing that you do for them satisfies them. Yes, they don't know themselves, but also it's because they have to keep feeding these demons. These demons they need to be fed, okay? So no matter how much sex you give them, they're not going to be sexually satisfied. This is why they go to the next person. Doesn't matter how much money you spend on them. They're always going to be looking for the next person that they can use their money. They're never satisfied. One, they don't know themselves. Two, these spirits will keep calling, feed me, feed me. They have to keep feeding these demons, okay? That's not how a person of light works. A person who is pure, a person of light does not work that way. We can be calm, we can be relaxed. We don't need that excitement. They literally also, when they're in public places, they like to go to clubs or be surrounded by a lot of people, is because they want to basically be an energy vampire. They're actually taking people's energy. They are dark, they are weak, and they need to feed off of other people's vibrational energy, okay? So I knew this other narc girl. I actually cut her off the end of last year. I do like these gatherings. I'm sure I told you that before, where I like get men and women that come to my house, like 20 of us. We eat, we drink, and we talk about different topics, and I host it basically. And I invited her to come to my gathering, and it was the first gathering and only gathering that she did come to. And I remember after the gathering, everyone was like, wow, I feel so refreshed, because we were talking about positive things, how to better ourselves, you know, different things that we go through, and love, sex, relationships, work. You know, we were talking about things, how can we fix these issues? That was extremely boring to her. And you know, we had a friend in common, and she went back to that friend and told that friend how my gathering was weak. And she always used to say, oh, it was low energy. It was weak, low energy. If we went out, we were like, oh, let's go out for dinner, let's go out for drinks, happy hour, or something like that after work. And we'll go to a particular place with like this, like a strip of restaurants or bars or something like that. And she would walk in a lounge, or, you know, a happy hour spot or a restaurant, whatever it is, and she'll look around, and the energy in here is weak, it's low. And it's like, after you've worked freaking 8-9 hours, you know, it takes sometimes us an hour or two to get to work. You done spent 10 hours of your life given to, you know, society, given to your job. You don't want to be in a loud, crowded place. And me and the other girl will be looking like, what is she talking about? What low energy? Like, everything was her favorite thing. Oh, this low energy in here. No, I wanted to be like, no, bitch, you are the low energy. You are the low energy. And they'll do this. They have to be continuously around crowds and crowds of people. They cannot stay still. You know, I would call my ex best friend or whatever, and he wouldn't be home. He'll never be home. He always had to be around someone. You know, he was never home. Always had to have some type of excitement and be around someone. I really, really think, I actually knew, you know, one of the narcissistic girls I hung out with, she had an apartment, and she literally was paying almost $2,000 a month just to store her clothes there, because she never stayed in her apartment. She either was at her parents' house or a man's house, never stayed at the apartment. I think that when these people are alone, they're extremely miserable. I guess it just kind of has them, giving them time to really think about who they are and who they're not. The demons that are tormenting them, I really think that they cannot be. I don't know any narcissists that are always alone. And even if they do live alone, trust indeed, they have a trampede of men or women or both in and out their house having sexual encounters, okay? Or they stay very busy. They're either at work, or they're at a party, they're at a function, they're on the street. They're making sure that they stay very busy because their energy is very low, and they have to constantly feed those demons, okay? So it's not you. You're not boring. You are good enough. And don't ever think, you know, you weren't good enough for them. They were never good enough for you, first off. They're the ones who were boring. Honestly, you know, there was a time where I thought, man, am I boring? No, I'm not boring at all, actually. And I really enjoy being alone. I go to restaurants alone. I shop alone. I technically live alone, you know, and I'm never bored. It's very strange. I'm actually more bored when I'm around a boring person, or just someone who's just not too, you know, not too intellectual, pretty much. I find myself getting bored more around people. You know, I don't need my energy to be fed because I'm whole, you know. So these narcissists aren't whole people. They're not of light. They're not healed people. They don't have anything to give to anyone. They just are able to take, okay? So they are the boring ones. Don't get me wrong, there are some of them who are funny and charming and all that stuff, but the core of them, nada. They have nothing to give. Even their advice is shaky, and they've copied, you know, mimicked someone else, some guru or some friend of theirs, and pretending like they're so wise when they really don't have anything to give. You know, I actually know a narcissist who is like a relative of a friend, and he's always asking me these questions. Now, I don't have an intimate relationship with this individual, but I come in contact with him once in a blue, and it's very interesting. Like, I guess I'm kind of using him a little bit as my case study, but yeah, he says the weirdest things. It's very interesting, you know. This is probably been one of the most interesting narcissists that I do know. I think it's weird because I don't know if he's really, he speaks like he knows there's something wrong, but it doesn't click. You know, I've never seen a narcissist, or maybe he just has narcissistic traits, but it seems like he kind of acknowledges that something doesn't feel right, or something's not right. This is the first time I ever known a narcissist to speak in this way, but he expresses himself, and he'll say things like, what would he say? He'll say like, oh, every time I'm with a woman, I'm never happy. I don't understand. Why is that? Like, will I ever find someone who will completely satisfy me? Will her sex be great enough? Will she make me laugh? Will she make me happy? Will she this? Will she that? And I said to him one day, I said, maybe it isn't the women. Maybe it's you. And he froze for a minute and he was just like, maybe it is. I don't think that he really believes that it's him, but it's sad. It was kind of sad to have a conversation with that particular narcissist. That it's like he knows something's off, and it's like it doesn't click in these people's heads. They really cannot smell their own shit. They really cannot see it's them, that they're the problem. Everyone else is the problem to these people. It's very, very sad. And I said, you date all these different types of women, but you seem to have a problem with all of them, and you kind of have the same kinds of problems with these women. These women are willing to give you anything and everything, but yet you keep saying that they don't have something. Maybe it's you that's lacking something to be able to receive what these women are willing to give to you. You have to be able to be willing to receive this. You can't receive this. And he just gets silent, he just gets quiet, and he looks like he's just trying to concentrate, trying to think, and it's really, really sad. These people really genuinely cannot see themselves. They cannot see that they are the problem. They have a serious issue. But I just noticed that they have this unbelievable amount of energy, like you have sex with them, they're never sexually satisfied. It's like if I went and had sex with 10 men, I would be wiped out. I would feel disgusting. But these people can go and have sex with 10 men or 10 women, and they can keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And still not even feel spiritually drained, because they're the ones who are the takers. They're the ones who are the energy vampires, and keep drinking and keep eating and keep partying and nonstop. These people's bodies are not like you and I, okay? So don't compare yourself to these narcissists. Don't ever feel like, oh, no matter what I gave them, they weren't satisfied. They will never be satisfied, okay? They are the host of those demons, okay? They're just the body, they're the shell of these particular spirits, these dark spirits they hold in their body. So they will never feel satisfied with anything or anything, so don't ever feel like it was your fault. There's no matter what you do, they'll never be satisfied. But I just noticed that they are always bored. I was on a date with a guy who, I don't know if he's a narcissist, but he has like, so he was acting like a narcissist would, okay? And I still attract narcissists. I attract really positive people, but when you're a light worker, when you're a person of light, when you're just a positive person, you're bound to attract negative people in general, or a narcissist. So I was on this date with this guy recently, actually, and it was funny because on the phone he speaks fine, but there was something that kind of gave me a red flag when I was on the phone with him. He was like pretending like he knew about something. You kind of know when someone is knowledgeable about something when they're not. So we'll be talking, and he will be, trying to sound smart. And I said, that's something the narcissist does. They don't know shit about the topic. They've taken bits and pieces from the encyclopedia or from Google, from their mama, from their cousin, from their neighbor, and they put bits and pieces together, and they come off and try to sound smart. But through time, when you're so used to being like myself, I'm so used to the signs of narcissism. When I start to be around people like that, I'm like, watch out for this person. And it's like when you are knowledgeable of a particular subject, you know the information. So he fakes it. He's faking it, okay? So on the phone, he does this whole faking thing, thinking, trying to make himself sound knowledgeable about certain subjects, certain topics. So I peeped that on the phone, but, it was okay conversation. Nothing nourishing. Notice that the narcissist really, to me, even the person that, is like the covert narc or, what is it? The narc that uses his mind. It can't come to my mind right now. Cerebral, there you go. Even the cerebral narcissists, they are going to slip up. There's going to be a time where you can feel they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just repeating what they've heard or seen, okay? They don't know, but they know that they know. Okay, so I noticed that about him, and when we were on our date, and this is something that a lot of narcs do. This is completely off the subject, but I just wanted to tell you the story. We're on a first date, and we're having dinner, and he's like this. On the first date, guys, he's on his cell phone texting. And I mentioned it because I'm not shy at all. And I said, you're like on a date. You probably should put your cell phone away. I have my cell phone away. I'm going to give you my attention. We're not going to be together for long. We're just going to have dinner and go separate ways. Like, I'm sure you can kind of like put your cell phone away for a little while. So I guess I was boring the narcissist with talking about things of substance. And he was on his phone, and when I asked him to put his phone away, he put his phone away, but then he put his phone under the table and proceeded to text under the table like I couldn't see the light flashing on his brown face, So, yeah, the narcissists, when you're around them, some of them will do that. They'll be texting. I've gone to the spa, was in a sauna that was 100 degrees, that I treated them to the spa, and the narcissist was on the damn cell phone texting while we're at the spa, supposed to be relaxing and just enjoying each other's company. They're very disrespectful. They always seem like they're tuning out. They'll look away while you're at the table with them. We're on a date, and we were at a restaurant that had it had like a TV on the screen, and whatever song they're playing, they would play the video on that screen. It's kind of like a really young urban type of restaurant. And he was just in the middle of us talking. He goes, "Oh wow, this is cool. This restaurant is nice. Oh, they're playing the video." Now he's watching the video, and I'm just like, this is not how you treat a woman on the first date, okay? So after the date, he's like, "Oh, can I drive you home?" And I'm like, "No, you cannot. I'll get home on my own." So you will kind of see, and then he tried to kiss me. So it was just like, what? That is something a narcissist would do. It's just like, oh, I'm just probably looking for sex. I don't even want to hear her conversation. I'm just trying to fuck, basically. That was the memo I got, but it was mixed signals. You seemed like you weren't even interested in my conversation, but then you tried to kiss me after, the date was over. Okay. So this is something that a narcissist will probably do on a date. But that energy level will not be there. They will suddenly just seem so disinterested in you. They always are looking for extra energy and that excitement, okay? So yeah, it's definitely not you. You're not boring. And even if you are a mellow person, there's nothing wrong with that, Everyone doesn't have to be turned up all the time. And, I just wanted to share that with you because it's just something that that's major. That has always been something major. And for someone, who always judged herself, it played a huge role in my self-esteem, and I'm sure a lot of you too, where you feel you kept trying to make plans and do things and to entertain this damn narcissist that will never be entertained, and that's why it's fun for a while with them in the honeymoon phase. You laugh, you joke, you go on all these adventures with them, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, they act like you're corny, you're not good enough, and they just move on to their next supply, but honestly, they're the boring ones, and they're the corny ones, and they're the ones who continuously will have to feed those dark spirits that live within them. They are the leech. They are the energy vampires. Go around, get that supply, move on, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's it for today with this subject. Continue to support me. I really appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and donate. Peace.